I have a second channel, Cube Comp MTDX.
Hey everybody, here we got this Dell Inspiron 6400 laptop. I'm going to try to refurbish this machine into a somewhat usable machine for like basic internet browsing. So the issue with it is when you look at this screen, there's noticeably a lot of flop in this lid. It's terrible. So essentially what happens is over time, as you're opening and closing, opening and closing, opening and closing a lid, all that opening and closing, what it does over time is it can cause the screws in this lid, as well as sometimes down inside the laptop, to back out. Screws tend to do that. They tend to back out with vibration and stuff like that. This is similar. So this is something that can happen with practically all laptops, not just Dells or HPs or what have you. But so what we're going to do is we're going to try to resolve the issue here. Figure out where the flop is coming from. And it appears it is inside here. So what we need to do is we're going to start popping these little pieces off that hold these screws, that cover these screws. And I can already see there is a ton of flop. Or excuse me, I can already see that the screws are badly loose. Okay, so this laptop is this laptop is aged to the point where these rubber caps are just like, they're brittle. Again, these are only a cosmetic thing, so generally we do like to keep some of them available in place though, because they do help cushion the lid when it's closed. So, for example, these screws, at least that one, it was loose, but that's not all of it. It appears there's more. So let's go ahead and tighten this one up and see how it does. Okay, it did lower the amount of flop, but we still have a lot of flop in this display. So next what we need to do is we need to take this screw back out as well as the other one. And see if we can resolve the flop. So what we got to do is we got to take all this off here. The front cover of this lid is going to come off. So on this one, you pop off these covers and expose the screws and take them out. And while we're on the I'll tell you, it's crazy. While we're on the subject of laptop lid design, this laptop is many years old. I want to say it's from 2006. It has at least it came with Windows XP Home Edition. Some of these were made in 2007 and actually came with Windows Vista. So this laptop has seen many years of use. I only got it just recently, but it's seen many years of use, and that means many open close operations. Okay, those things were a bit of a pain to get off because they'd never been off before, and they've been on there for many years. So while we're on the and interestingly enough, that one was also loose. While we're on the subject of laptop lid design, this laptop is many years old. It's probably from 2006. This is back when they made laptops, back when they actually made them to last. If you look at some of our screen replacement videos, you'll see just how horribly designed some modern laptops are. As a matter of fact, a lot of them. They're designed pretty badly. Matter of fact, some of them, in order to get the front piece of the lid off to expose the LCD panel, it involves taking out 0 screws. You're just peeling and pulling it off. I'm not a fan of it. A lot of newer laptops, they structure the lid solely around the LCD panel, whereas laptops like this have some reinforcement. And these screws are not really tight. And see, that's the thing, that's kind of my point here, is over time, as you're opening and closing that laptop lid, those screws, they tend to back out. So what we got to do is get in here and just retighten them. I think I've done a video similar to this before. That's great. So I guess with older laptops comes older, more brittle plastic. This thing cracked as I was taking it off. I tell you, yeah, that's aggravating when that happens. I mean, it's still salvageable. What I could do is when I put it back together, I have to put a bead of super glue around this right here to stick it back together. I mean, this is actually going to be a free laptop to somebody who's needing a computer to. Unfortunately, they're having to file for unemployment during this coronavirus pandemic. So, I have found a lot. I think we may have figured out our problem. So, I'm looking inside here and I see it appears some screws have backed out to where they're not actually tightening down anything anymore. Like, okay, those are still pretty tight. Essentially, we just need to tighten. Sorry if you're not getting this on video. I'm just down a little bit. It is late at night, so pardon me. I can see a lot of flop right there, but we'll get to it. Just want to tighten all these screws down as much as we can. And that's really, to be honest, looking at this design, as I was saying, these older laptops, they're usually put together really well. There's a good the plastic is thicker. Well, it gets brittle over time, as we've seen, but they're usually put together better. They offer a bit more structural reinforcement. And let's get that screw tightened up good, really good. Tighten it hard, so that the LCD is not exactly as prone to breaking. Okay, that's actually resolved quite a bit of the flop already. You tighten this down. Trying to tighten it hard without stripping the screw out. Because that's the thing, is these things over time they back out. Now, as I was saying, that did resolve quite a bit of the flop. It's not as bad, but I still see what appears to be some movement in here. So on these Dells from this generation, you should be able to pull right up. Sometimes with the help of a flat blade screwdriver, you should be able to pull up on this right here. Let's just open this all the way. Hopefully this don't crack. And I think I'm already finding more loose screws. So all the screws that are in charge of holding the laptop's lid together, they tend to, every single screw that's in charge of that, they tend to back out over time. I'm trying to carefully work this off without cracking the plastic. There. And I think we see more loose screws. Well, they wasn't terribly loose, but let's just go ahead and tighten it down. That one was a little loose. Not too bad though. Now on this particular laptop, we have additional screws in the rear that have these little caps over them. And those have backed out some. So yeah, I guess the point is, you just gotta check over all these screws and retighten them. And I guess if you really wanted to go extreme, you could Loctite them. Honestly, I mean, oh yeah, those were really, really, really loose. They backed out quite a bit. And I guess another point I can make out of this is, if you want to help prevent this from happening, be easy on that lid when you're opening and closing it. Don't slam it. I'd be willing to bet that the previous owner of this laptop regularly opened and closed the lid with force, or did it rapidly. More or less, they slammed it. And that's not a good thing. So I guess this would be a good little informative video for this generation of Inspiron laptop on how to resolve flopping the lid. So pop those back in there. I think it's safe to say that the ones that go on the front of the lid, I'm not sure. I don't think we're going to be able to salvage those, but most of those are really just for cosmetic. There are two other rubber strips in place that should help cushion the lid against the body of the laptop. Now, a lot of times with these things, they tend to not want to stay in place after they've been taken out, so don't be surprised if they fall out. But look here, there's still a little bit of flop, but that's pretty typical. I would say that's definitely a lot better than what this thing was doing. So earlier we had a lot of flop inside. Move this down. So earlier we had a lot of flop down in here, but I don't see that anymore. So I think it's safe to say that we can go ahead and pop this thing back together. So go ahead and pop this back into place. I tell you, I mean, these particular Dell laptops, although they are way outdated as far as specs goes, I like them. I like how they're built. This one in particular has a very high resolution screen. Matter of fact, the screen resolution on this thing is higher than a lot of these newer laptops that have come out over the years. So again, we're practically just... Okay, so I see why. I see why I cracked that plastic now. It was kind of my error. So we're going to have to pop this back off. Yeah, I don't understand why one side of this lid had like a little recess that goes inside here, and the other side it doesn't. That's just one of those weird things, I guess. Should be able to get this in there without taking the whole thing off. I'll just have to super glue that back together. Just go ahead and snap all this back in place. Like I say, I'll have to fix that. This little bit of super glue should be enough. I mean, this is a about 14-year-old laptop. So it's like, for me, it's like, who cares? Stick all these back in. Okay. So, although the rubber pieces aren't really, I'd say, usable anymore, we resolved quite a bit of the flop in this screen. It's going to have some. It's normal for it to have a little bit. Especially these older laptops that have the real heavy screens. It's going to have some flop back and forth. But this is nowhere near as bad as it was. So anyways, that's how you can resolve looseness or flop in a laptop's lid assembly. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Well, everybody, that's it for this video, but don't forget there's a lot more interesting stuff on the channel to check out. Also, if this is your first time visiting this channel, feel free to subscribe to keep your channel, and also don't forget to tick the bell so that way we get notified of new video posts. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, but if you really didn't like it, there is the alternative option available as well. Also, feel free to check out my second channel, CubeCompMTDX. There you'll find videos about bicycling, weather, elevator tours, and all sorts of other neat, interesting stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to come back, and thank you for your support.